Amazing.
Oh, you moved away from Android.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm not sure if that's a
Con-
good thing or a bad thing. Yeah, I'll figure it out though.
More with continuity to, I think, to say like, let's say you get a call on your Mac or something, then you just pick up on your
Yeah,
iPhone, vice versa.
I quite like that. It's a pretty good feature actually.
Yeah,
I,
handy and useful at
I
times.
like this name, Tech Bites. It sounds nice.
Yeah, but one thing is, I don't want to sort of get caught up where someone sued me for copyright because
Yeah,
that name. But because
yeah,
it's a small internal thing, then it probably doesn't matter.
yeah. Let's hope so anyway.
What's with the headset? Are you going for a new look?
I've always had this headset. It's just
Oh, have
last time I
you?
was on the Mac, so I'm using the desktop PC now. So
Ah, makes sense. Because I've
yeah.
got some headphones as well, so I can go for headphone look as well. Unfortunately, I find this doesn't work with my Mac. My iPhone headphones
Uh-oh.
are fine, but these are monster ones. But they're the ones that go with the Nokia phone. But I bought two of them for like 60 quid.
Cool, that's pretty good
That's about
then.
30 quid a piece, and they're really loud and they're really responsive. So I'm not going to complain about those.
Nice, pretty
Uh,
decent.
what else has been happening in the tech news this week? I bought a Raspberry Pi 2 though.
Is it good?
Well, it's on its way, but I ended up buying the Pi camera. Well, the
Oh
motion
yeah, yeah.
go with it, and the camera's on its way. So I'm going to try and set up some sort of camera system and see how that works as a side project. Then I can maybe use in lectures and say, "This is what I did," because I've got instructions on
Yeah,
the DVD and everything.
sounds pretty good.
What else has happened this week?
The Google is finally testing inbox for work emails. That's something.
Yeah, okay. I saw something to do with iCloud and Word documents, and you
Yeah.
can save them from Office on your iPad directly onto the cloud, onto iCloud, which is a nice feature.
Yeah,
And Office 365 for university is free for everyone, and you get the storage as well.
yeah.
One thing that I've noticed is when I'm sending attachments now, it has the Microsoft Office 365 layout, and I can send it via OneDrive.
Mhm.
So if I was sending you an attachment, I'd stick it on OneDrive, and you could pick it up from there. But just use them on 1 terabyte storage, which is more than enough for measly documents.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
I like that. I mean, I've got 10 terabytes, I think, and it's ridiculous. I'm never going to fill it up.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
Apart from that,
Another thing I heard is that Apple is spending $2 billion in European data centers this year.
that doesn't necessarily mean cloud solutions though, in the sense of
No,
storage.
not clouds, not really cloud. No, it's probably for their systems themselves. So
Well, it's probably for them analyzing everything that we're doing and patterns and shopping habits and the new shopping habits with the Touch ID.
yeah, yeah. One of the things it says here on reading this article here on The Verge, it says iTunes, iMessages, and Siri it's going to be able to do. It's going to help give them 100% renewable energy from that, apparently.
How are they going to get energy from applications though?
I don't have a clue, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, can you put it on screen and use screen share?
Let me grab my screenies. Screen share, here we go. Screen 2, there we go. If I just put that up there.
Ah, bingo. All right.
Awesome. And there's a little bit right down here. It says right. Well, actually, it says each facility will run using 100% renewable energy and provide online services such as iTunes, iMessages, and Siri for Apple customers in Europe.
Hmm.
And it says it's going to be built in Western Ireland and it's going to be in Viborg in Denmark, apparently. They're expected to be operational by 2017.
All right, so that's 2 years from now. So I
And this
think
is what they're supposed to look like, apparently. These
yeah,
little images here. So looks pretty bloody big. I think that's about it on that sort of front. Is there anything on the Is there anything else on the tech world? Let's have a look. Um, Google's being investigated by Russia apparently for antitrust agencies.
Hmm.
Um, what's this? SIM products are secure despite Snowden leaks. Okay, so it's saying that SIM cards how they weren't supposed to be leaked. Well, they're supposed to be like 100% foolproof, but they're not. What's the other one? So look, Steve Wozniak is in the Cadillac Oscars commercial apparently. Ah,
Hmm.
this is another big one. The Samsung Galaxy S6. This is
I
a
don't
quite
know
a
what
big
to think
thing.
of it yet.
If that picture is what it's going to look like, the screen looks interesting because if you look on the side, there's like a screen bezel, but it goes half around the actual edge. So it could mean that there could be have a kind of curved display on the side, like the Samsung Edge was it? I think it's something like that.
Yeah.
And it had that same sort of style. So that'd be pretty interesting. But I don't think it would go that far to be fair, because people don't really care about curved screens right now. So
Well, to be fair, I don't think I'd be using a curved screen. I mean, I've got an iPhone and it's got buttons on the side, so I don't think a curved
yeah,
screen would be ideal.
no,
I wouldn't see myself.
because
I mean, I'd probably see myself
if
breaking
the
my phone.
screen went half over that, then it'll be like there'll be like no space to press the buttons at all. Because you're
Yeah.
pressing the flipping, you'll be trying to press the flipping side of the phone, but you're pressing the touch screen as well. So
Well, they'd knock about in your pocket as you're walking and
yeah,
traveling.
yeah. So that looks pretty interesting. Um, oh, I thought this was pretty cool actually. I saw this a couple years ago. It's basically well, the latest Apple ad was shot using an iPad Air 2. I thought that was pretty cool.
Someone's saying they're shooting an advert for the iPad Air 2 using an iPad Air 2.
Yeah, basically.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. I was pretty. If you watch it on YouTube, it's pretty amazing how good it actually is. It's really pretty like pretty good for an iPad anyway.
Okay. I've got an iPad somewhere. It's somewhere around the house, but I tend to
Yeah.
use it less now. I've got a Mac.
Microsoft is developing a People Sense app apparently for finding friends on Windows Phone.
Well, that's not going to
Seems
work
to-
very well because most people have iPhones.
yeah, I was thinking, isn't that sort of Swarm or Foursquare really?
Yeah, it'd be better if they use
So
that. You know, like we use Form and use it to check in and things, but
yeah, yeah.
then might as well use that. Is it based on push notifications?
I don't know. Let's have a look here. What's the preview shows? Have a look. See what this preview shows. Um, okay, come on. I don't want to see a huge ass video. Okay, looks like here it's just showing a map with a person on it. Is that all it is? That's a bit pointless.
Just mapping people in the
Uh,
location. That's like Find My Friends for iPhone.
yeah.
Bit of a
That's,
rubbish
and you can
approach.
apparently you can message them straight from that by the looks of it with a phone number. Does that mean everyone's phone number is going to be given out as soon as you use the application?
Well, I might as well make it into a big worldwide directory.
Yeah, maybe. What's this? Oh, okay. So it allows you to. It gives you like point directions to the actual person you want to go see, which is pretty nice. But
So that person has to be a contact. They have to know you in order to do that. Otherwise, it'd be a bit weird. You'd be finding a way to
yeah,
run people.
and the piracy, buddy. Well, the privacy stuff will get into it then, won't it as well? So
Yeah.
if it was open anyway. Apparently, it's apparently they're going to be releasing it. Oh wait, it might be. Oh, okay. Yeah, it says like you said. It says here, people they said that people might have to try harder to find uses for the app when most people have iPhones and Android devices, which is true.
There we
So
go, bingo. I've just seen something on Mac Rumors, which is quite interesting. iPhone 6C concept teases the future Apple's budget smartphone. So it's like my iPhone 5C, but obviously a version of the 6,
yeah,
which I
yeah,
think looks quite nice because it'll be colourful and probably smoother.
yeah. I think it looks cool. That would look pretty cool.
I'll probably go for the same colour again. People think, oh, look, you got yourself a 5, but no, I wouldn't. I'd have a 6.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Do you have OS X beta account, developers?
What do you say? Have I got a?
You got OS X developer account.
Uh, I haven't, no, but I have looked at it multiple times. So
Because they've done another beta and it looks quite promising and it looks like it's going to fix a lot of things, but they might break some things as well. Oh dear.
mm. Yeah, I heard they got one as 8.1.3 or was it 8.1.4 update or beta out
10,
soon.
10.3
Yeah,
OS X. But iOS, yeah, 8.3.
iOS 8.3, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's in second beta. But what it is, because they're doing the beta for 8.3, why have they not released 8.2 out to the public?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe there's some real big bugs with 8.2 or 10.2 right now.
So they're going to skip everyone and go straight onto 8.3.
Maybe, yeah.
They've had that fiasco before, but that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, true. It doesn't make sense, but Apple doesn't make sense, so.
Oh, well, it doesn't make sense.
But you know, I think it'll be interesting what Apple actually do, especially with the new Apple Watch coming out.
Possibly. They might have a separate OS update for that, maybe.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. But you know, I'm not really into this whole like Apple Watch idea. Like, I've got a Samsung Galaxy Gear watch,
Right.
and I bought it when it came out. It was really awesome, but after a week, I got bored of it. I think the same thing is going to happen to this Apple Watch. People are getting all hyped about it, and they got a lot of features which pretty much are exactly the same or identical to the Samsung Gear one, the stuff that it does anyway.
Right.
It's going to be like a bit pointless. I think that people are going to buy it. I think they're going to have like a record sales, and they're going to beat everyone in terms of sales in the first week. But then after the first week, no one wants to get them anymore. 'Cause I think it'll just people will wear off the flipping, the enjoyment from 'em.
I don't think so. I think the complete opposite. I think there'll be a big hype at the beginning, but it'll just ease off, and then they'll release something else.
If they release a nice software update, which gives you like additional features like third-party apps, let's say, then it would be like pretty big.
Well, they're doing that with Twitter and Facebook at the minute because you can get notification from Twitter, which is third party. So if they've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
that already running, then it's going to happen. It's just a case of time.
Yeah. Once they release well, I think they've already released the SDK. Actually, thinking about it, it's for the developers, so it should be pretty interesting. See what actually happens with that. But would you spend £300 on a watch if it's? I think
Well,
they're saying it's going to be around that sort of price. I think so.
probably I wouldn't, but people who are going out buying Rolexes and bigger brand watches, then if they're spending that amount anyway, then
Yeah, yeah.
people can afford it,
Yeah.
then people will pay for an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what everyone else is.
I quite like the Apple Watch. I like the design of it a lot, but I don't know. I don't have a clue what's going to happen with it. I hope it goes well, but well, it probably will because Apple makes sure they know. Apple make sure it's going to work if we actually release something. So
Yeah.
I reckon it should be fine. Have you used this app called Uber or Uber? Have you tried that?
Uber.
It's basically
Uber
a
Facts
taxi app.
or
It's like a taxi app for like hiring taxis. Let's say.
yeah, I saw something earlier about that, and I thought, it might work, but
I think it looks
yeah,
pretty interesting, but I haven't downloaded the app myself. But apparently it's supposed to be coming out in Birmingham soon. I'm like, oh, that'd be interesting to try out, just to see what it's like.
it's
But
worth a shot. You can't go wrong.
yeah, so that'd be quite interesting. Apparently YouTube are also making a kids app for in fact, apparently it's already out for Android and iOS right now. So
Which brought me to some questions last week. I had some students in my class talking about YouTube and what kind of media is out there on YouTube at the moment.
yeah,
Now, they said they wanted to protect their kids because they're mature students and they're parents of kids. Now, they said if you send them to school, then kids are going to have phones and they're going to see all sorts of material anyway, so you can't stop it.
yeah,
So, how do you control what they see on phones or at school? This YouTube app might help, but you put parental locks. But then there's this one case where someone wanted to buy an app, one of these little kids. So they snuck into their father's bedroom, and while he was asleep, put his finger on the Touch ID, and he paid for it without
Yeah.
himself even realizing, and ran another bill of about 100, quid just for an app. Well,
Yeah.
an app and in-app purchases.
Yeah. That's one of the things that it's quite a interesting area actually to look at right now. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this YouTube thing's going to work because they're making this YouTube. Well, they've already made this YouTube app apparently, according to this article here, for
Yeah.
kids. But what's stopping someone just for going on the normal YouTube app, you know, and seeing the same stuff or seeing different stuff?
Well, how I think what will work
Unless you
is,
restrict it, obviously. If you restrict it to just the YouTube Kids app, then obviously they won't be able to see that. They won't be able to see everything else. But for someone that just has like a phone and just wants to look at, let's say they're kid and they want to actually look at YouTube videos, they can just download the YouTube app, can't they?
it's hit and miss. So like, you take a parent, they set up the iPhone and they download just the YouTube app, and they set it there. They have parental controls, and it's part of the family, and there's no authorization unless the parent puts their finger on the Touch
Yeah.
ID.
Yeah.
That's the way around it.
Hmm. It could be an interesting thing. We'll see what Google happen. We'll see what Google do with that. Apparently, Google Wallet is becoming pre-installed on Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile Android phones, which means that there's going to be quite a
So
few
that's
payments
out
done on
in
that
the States, then, isn't
in the
it?
States. Yeah, right now, yeah. It's same as Apple Pay. I think they're trying to take on Apple Pay, basically. Google are, so.
Uh,
I don't know if it's going to work, though.
Sorry, you kind of broke off. I didn't hear your last thing that you
Oh,
just said.
oh what was I saying? I was about saying about the, what was I saying about? Oh, I was saying about, yeah, I was at Google Pay. I was saying that I think Google are trying to take on Apple Pay in the US with that particular idea, so.
Google trying to take on Apple Pay. That'll be a challenge because everyone's trying to use Apple Pay and try and get it into their product. So Google trying to shift in is a bit late. They should have done it earlier.
Yeah, they should have, yeah.
I
I
mean,
don't know, it'd be quite interesting though, because it's pretty much determined then by the companies. Because if Apple go to like the same company as Google's do, and Google say like what, and let's say the company chooses Google over Apple, then that obviously shows that people want to trust Google more than Apple.
yeah, but Google sometimes do unresponsible things, whereas
They
Apple
do,
is
yeah,
a little bit more trusted
yeah,
and a bit more valued in the market. I mean, you
yeah,
look at Apple's that one, it's worth more than Google in certain aspects and financially, so they
yeah,
might trust Apple Pay a bit more than Google Pay.
yeah. Well, it depends. I'm not sure if you have to pay for Google Wallet. Like, let's say I was a company. I wonder if you actually have to pay for, let's say, to use Apple Pay or Google Pay, or if Google or Apple pay you to actually use their service or not.
Google might use it as an incentive to lure people off Apple Pay and use Google Wallet
Yeah,
instead, but I don't think it's going to always happen.
yeah. Back onto the whole Apple Watch idea. Apparently, Pebble, which is another smartwatch make, which you might have heard about. They just leaked a color display because all their displays were like black and white. So
Yes. Oh.
I'll close the door.
Oh, fine. I was just about to make some damn food, but fine.
You're always talking about damn food.
I'm always talking about food.
We're talking about Apple Pay and Google Wallet.
yeah,
Apple Pay being.
You pay for stuff using your iPhone.
Oh,
It's
and like
Touch
using
ID.
NFC and all that.
Yeah.
Or your fingerprint and all that.
Mhm.
Well, what about it?
Well, we're in the middle of discussion, but we'll come back and you'll catch up. Where were we?
I don't know. We were trying to figure out what advantages there are between Google and Apple Pay, weren't we? In terms what we think of the advantages are, anyway. Not what they are, because we obviously don't know what they are, because that's what Google and Apple know themselves. So.
Yeah, just trying to figure out what would be.
Well, obviously, if you go with Apple, you get integrated with Apple, so that means you can probably do something with the car shit they're doing right now.
Yeah.
You could probably also do something with their, well, obviously you'll be integrated with their iTunes, so maybe you could integrate with their Apple ID, so maybe the customers will get some Apple ID information, like what they've been looking at or something online, and they can like make a structure of that to actually like advertise stuff on via email, let's say, or something like that. That could be pretty handy. So that's what Apple's got, I think, because they got the bigger customer base with Apple IDs, but.
That's the sort of concept, and what it was is someone using your sort of regular mouse, but an
Yeah.
Apple Magic Mouse. What they
Yeah.
do, like where you put your fingers, there'd be a Touch ID sensor in there, and you can use that to authorize apps from your Mac.
Mhm.
So what they'll do, they discontinue the old ones and put the new ones in place, which I think is quite cool. But let's say I got a Mac with a touchpad or trackpad,
Yeah.
and I don't have a Magic Mouse with me, I'm still gonna have to stand the traditional password method.
I guess it is
Yeah.
adding like the extra layer of security then.
But it's a mouse. Someone can rob your mouse, then you're still back
Yeah,
to square one.
exactly, but it needs your fingerprint. I don't know about you, but they're not going to steal your fingers.
Well, I suppose it'd stop people using your Magic Mouse with another machine, and same thing with the keyboards.
Yeah,
maybe.
but like it doesn't really matter who uses your Magic Mouse. Like,
Well, some people might be picky. Let's say you were at uni and we got loads of mouses. They would I don't know.
yeah, it's a bad example because everyone just uses mouses. Like, I wouldn't let you use my Death Adder because that's my Death Adder. And you probably wouldn't like it because of its size. Like, if it's something like a personal preference, like where like you've got that mouse there, which is smaller, has different features, whatever, then that's what the difference is going to be. But if it's just a mouse, like, they're all the same, really. It's not like there's different versions of Magic Mouse. It's like one sort of generic version of it.
Yeah, I do suppose. What do you think?
I don't think it'll already work. For the pure reason that I don't think anyone really cares about their mouse
Yeah,
to that extent, anyway. So
as in, like, people sort of care about their mouse a little bit.
yeah, but people won't care to it to the extent that they won't care if they lose it.
Like, they'd at least have like some sort of concern, like I have. Like when I use computers at school, like the mice are absolutely tiny,
Yeah.
and it's like it's just really awkward to use because I'm used to obviously my hands sort of being like that and using the mouse like sideways like that. That's how I use it.
Well, unless what you use the mouse for, let's say you pair it up with another. You take your Magic Mouse with you wherever you go,
Yeah.
and use that as another form of sort of like Touch ID. So let's say,
lots of people do that.
so that again, it's a
Like,
hygiene thing.
like LAN events and stuff. People just they use their own mouse because it's just that sort of. It doesn't really happen with a lot of people, but they
Germs.
no, not that. As in, like they just have a sort of connection with their mouse.
Yeah, exactly. So
As in, obviously, there's like a physical sort of, I guess, connection because you're touching it. But yeah,
I think
it's
I think it could work in some ways, but it's not for everyone.
working.
I think one of the ways it could work is for organisations that get broken into a lot, or let's say they have a lot of visitors and they steal stuff. Then you can actually track where you can keep that mouse so that let's say someone does steal it, then it won't work. That's a pretty good way. But
Yeah.
then you are still losing the mouse, so you're still using the value of it. So
Hmm.
it's just they won't be able to use it.
Yeah, like my Death Adder has quite some value. It's like I don't want to lose that. Whereas if it's say I don't know, some generic mouse, just like okay.
Oh.
One thing I quite like about the iPhone 6 Plus, which is the phone I just bought today, it's I really like the fact I can use my fingerprint to buy stuff like in the App Store or iTunes. I can use also to unlock the phone and stuff like that. That's pretty handy. But the problem is that what happens if someone breaks into that phone? I know they said they got this future-proof like chip in it that's supposed to self-destruct or something like that if someone does get into it. But I reckon someone could get into it if they actually like hacked into the software like big time.
You think so? Because
I think so,
I was thinking more of a sort of CSI sort of thing, you know, where what they do, they sort of put that film across, take it off, and then put it back on and use that as a sort of.
That doesn't actually work.
Yeah.
You know, like we actually done this in science. I don't know why, but we just did this. Basically, we actually investigated like, does this actually work by getting your fingerprint, like using some sellotape and then trying to use it on like those fingerprint machines
Yeah.
for your money and all that. And it doesn't work because basically it inverts it. As it's been taken off, it's actually been like inverted, so it doesn't work.
Okay, so then you may need to flip it and then put it back on.
No, even then it doesn't work because it's not very strong. Like what it takes isn't.
I think one thing that Apple probably do to stop that is
the actual sensors for the fingerprint detect heat like touchscreens. Like that's why with touchscreens sometimes you can't use like a nail or like any other object like a pen because it doesn't like really. There's no sort of heat coming from your finger.
Ah, okay.
That's only in some things.
I was thinking, another thing that probably won't work with that is the fact that the Apple takes multiple amount of presses. Let's say when you first boot up the phone, it says you have to press it like 6 times on that to get the Touch ID to actually work. So it must have like quite a few images of your entire hand, or your entire finger, let's say. So that there's literally no way no one could actually get your entire finger on this piece of paper.
It basically develops like a sort of like a
3D model or something like that, isn't it? Of your thumb anyway. So
what it is, you can use your Touch ID like various different ways around it, and it'll still unlock it. So that's what it's doing.
Yeah,
so it's not like you have to have it exactly like that.
It just cuts out like margin of error from like people trying to unlock their iPad or their. So it just obviously makes it easier because otherwise it'd be really inconvenient where you have to precisely get your finger down in the exact position that you scanned it in the first time.
Yeah.
Oh no, carry on.
I'm just grabbing the YouTube link actually. Give me a sec. But yeah, if Google did something like Touch ID, but something that wasn't stuck on an iPhone, something that was stuck on like, let's say you could plug it into like a USB socket on your computer or your Mac, let's say, then you could actually use that. That'd be pretty handy. But the problem is that would that pretty much someone's already done that already. There's like quite a few programs or companies that actually sell little fingerprint button things, and you can pretty much plug it into any computer and it'll work. So, but it'd be good if Google did that because I think Google's got the potential to actually do that pretty well. So.
And then I can put it into all their Nexus phones as well.
Yeah, another thing they've also got is well, recently Google integrated this whole token security token idea to their Google account stuff. So at the moment, I've got, let's say, I just got this like half a USB stick, basically. It's like a piece of cardboard, really. And you stick it into my USB port, and it basically authenticates my Google account with this token. I could do it on any computer in the world, and it'll basically automatically sign me in on all my Gmail accounts. So that's a pretty good feature. The only problem is if someone actually gets that token, let's say, from my room, and then plugs it into a computer, they've pretty much got instant access to all my flipping emails. So.
Well, people try to use phones because obviously people carry their phones rather than because lose your phone. You can sort of like remote lock and get another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a very specific topic. That's why there's all these little bits of silence.
Awkward silence.
Yeah. So specific, like payment options.
Well, it's where the future is. I mean, there'll be
the future is. It's not like the future's going to completely depend on the decisions that Apple and Google make about.
A lot of things that people are doing now is contactless technology. Like with their credit cards and bank cards these days, you can get contactless, which I think is pretty awesome. Which sort of defeats the whole object of like Apple Pay, really.
Convenience as well.
Yeah, it's just like one of those cool things. It's like it's not absolutely necessary, but it just makes everything feel like more futuristic. And stuff.
Yeah, and I use contactless. I use it at uni, like occasionally I need to pay for something. Beep, just use contactless. Done.
Yeah.
I have to remember pins and stuff. I still remember my pin, but for those places that don't have contactless, but for those that don't, just
but the thing is, it's also slightly flawed because if someone obviously just takes your card, they can
keep spending £15 at a time, or and then they rinse your bank account. Yeah.
Slowly, but yeah, they will.
I think it asks you apparently. That's what I heard. I heard that apparently it asks you for your PIN every random amount of times. Says so like one day it'll ask you every 10 days, let's say. And then it also asks you every 3 days. It will just ask you, it just randomly allocates a day when using it, contactless, let's say, and it asks you for your PIN. So.
Yeah, it also depends on like how much you're like spending as well. And
Yeah.
very frequently, you sort of get suspicious and think, why do you keep buying like £15 worth of stuff
Yeah,
like every however
minute,
long
every
period is?
couple of minutes. But if it's like once a day you're paying for something and it's like food or something,
And
then
it's obviously it's not going to be £15.
yeah. Well, unless you
Yeah.
pay for a very expensive meal.
Well, you know what? Saying about this £15 idea, I heard that they're actually changing it now to £30.
That could be dangerous because people start spending a whole lot more, and it'd make it easier for someone to nick off with your card. And
It would, yeah.
Well, it wouldn't like entice people to spend, or it'd definitely entice other people to steal that.
no,
Yeah.
it entices people to spend because then they can spend 30 quid without having to remember their pin. I think, I'll just slap my card, done. They don't
Yeah.
have to bother with pins. It makes it easier for someone to spend.
Well,
I've noticed my spending habits have sort of probably gone through the roof because of contactless. As in, I just find it more convenient to just pay with card rather than cash.
see, I don't have this problem yet.
Yeah, you won't have this problem, but when you get a
The
card, you'll
problem
probably
with cards these days is that because you got a card, you think you got infinite amount of money, and then when you check your bank statement like a month later, you think,
how much.
Yeah, because it's not like a tangible object. Like I've always like sort of been fascinated by just how sort of like how sort of simple but like sort of complex like banking and stuff is.
Yeah, banking has got a lot simpler like recently with the new online stuff. So
Like no, like on like a piece of plastic, you have I don't know the ability to spend up to like £1,500 or whatever.
yeah,
But it's like you don't actually like when you do a transaction, you don't see the money go from the card. It doesn't just like come out the bank and just give it to them. It's just kind of done.
But with
And that's,
bitcoins and things like that, it's
that's-
supposed to sort of change the area.
That's why I've always sort of been amazed by just how sort of kind of stupid it is, because it's like there's not like really a trade going on. It's just like digital numbers really going on.
Yeah, you have bitcoins as well. That's digital money as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's just because of the man.
Yeah, no, but it's still a currency, and there's some governments that can't touch it, so it's great.
And there's some businesses that accept it.
Yeah.
There's like a pub in Cambridge which accepts bitcoins as payment.
Not
oh
bad.
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, well, that's pretty cool actually.
There's just all like the computer science nerds who just going
in there, having a
going to this
Yeah.
bar because they can pay with
Bitcoins.
They just be like they can tell their friends.
That'll be
later
10
that-
bitcoins, please.
No, it's just
Yeah.
they can go and tell their friends later that
I had a pint for a bitcoin.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's cool. But you can like how much and it's like
One
several bitcoins.
Coins.
It's just that novelty factor. Just
It'll soon wear off,
Yeah. Being able to say I've paid for minor things with bitcoins.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
Talk about
really
and pain.
big area.
Don't know what else you can really talk about to do with mobile payments because it's kind of limited at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Because all you're doing is
Wait.
passing money around at the moment. Is there some way to sort of top up
Really?
your account with like loads of money that no one will ever realise and you can be spending? I'm sure your bank would probably clock on at some point to say, like, where's all this money come from? We don't have it.
it'd be like how there's a sudden influx of £5,000. You'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Unless you are actually just genuinely rich.
For those that are rich,
And
they
you
can spend.
And you can just do that.
Yeah.
Is there a better topic you can talk about?
Oh, is there any topic? You make a topic then and
I ain't got no topic. I haven't thought of anything.
since on the topic of contactless, there must be something else around contactless.
Like,
Oh,
Voice recognition. Voice recognition payments. That'd be weird, but it'd be awesome.
Voice recognition, that'd be interesting. So I'd pull out my phone and I'd say, Siri, pay for my drink, and while my
Yeah.
phone would pay.
It's gone. That'd be pretty awesome.
how would that work then?
But that'll probably
Yeah,
integrate with
that's
Apple Pay, though, wouldn't it?
Voice recognition.
Yeah, so you command Siri to say, "Oh, make this payment for me."
Yeah.
But then, how does it know what to pay it to?
As you use your phone because they'll have NFC in it, and you tap the phone
Yeah, exactly. So it's not really voice recognition payment. It's just using the voice recognition.
to authorize rather than have
Well,
to use Touch ID.
not even to authorize it, just to say, Siri, can you just do this for me, even though you can just do it yourself.
You could do it based on your location and pay the nearest. Oh no, but then
Yeah, exactly. Then you'll get confused.
yeah.
You'd be like, where do I go?
Yeah, I guess so.
Sending money to like some place like next to you, and it's just like, oh crap.
Yeah, so it's a bit like
gonna waste some money. But then how do you get the money back?
That would be weird.
Actually, no, you would be able to get the money back. You go over to the other business and be like, yeah, you just had like a random influx of £24. Can I have that back? I don't think.
I don't think it'd work.
I don't think the voice recognition thing would work.
No, I don't think it would either.
It would work just
Sounds cool,
to launch like the app or whatever
Yeah.
to do it, but to actually get the voice or using your voice to actually make a payment is kind of how it's done already. Because you talk to cashiers and they're like, "Can I have this?"
Yeah,
You
then
go, "Oh,
you're
it's
taking the fun out of
£24,"
shopping.
and then it's like, oh, okay, here's £24.
Well, then if you're going to talk to a phone, you might as well shop online from home then.
Yeah, there's no need to go to shops now.
Because if you're talking to your phone, you're talking to a computer.
To be honest, it's a win-win for both, like for both the consumer and company itself, because the company has less overheads because they don't have to have open stores and they don't have to employ people, so less money. Well, they can make more money and keep more money, and then we as customers, so just
Go in and out quicker.
yeah,
Other
we don't
shops.
we don't even have to go into a shop. We just sit at home and do what we want.
No queues. The only thing is,
Obviously, there is disadvantages, like if it's a physical product and like you want to see the size of something.
yeah.
The problem is will retail stores be able to cope with the demand of, let's say, a product like with Apple, with their particular, or let's say even like shopping, like supermarkets these days, would they, like quite a few people actually still go to the store to actually buy stuff and don't go the online route. If they cut off everyone from the store and just said, I want to do it online, what's the demand going to be like? Like, are they going to be able to cope with it? It's like Apple saying, when your iPhone, let's say, comes out, everyone's trying to silence the Apple servers and everything crashes basically. Like, if everyone did that, if like a supermarket, the bloody supermarket would crash down.
I don't think it would crash down.
You just have a lot of outraged people standing outside the store saying, "Why can't we shop in the store?"
No,
Yeah.
With the Apple example, that's because like they're releasing like one new product, so there's a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas a supermarket, people are like,
Flow.
yeah, there's a constant flow because people obviously need food, and it's not like the supermarket suddenly brings out a new food and everyone wants to go and get it.
New food. Yeah, people queuing out for food.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a constant flow. There's no need for everyone to suddenly rush to the supermarket or anything. Like you don't really see that unless it's like Black Friday. But even then,
They don't
no
need
one
food.
cares. Even
Yeah.
then, like, a supermarket has a constant flow of people coming in and out. So
What did you say about the Magic Mouse earlier? You said about Magic Mouse, didn't you?
but the point that you made about Apple is true though. Like, just because millions of people will just like want to get like the new iPhone or the new iPhone.
Yeah.
I think that's just due to like Apple's marketing and now like a massive fan base. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like their fault that they've got so many people. Yeah.
It sort of is their own fault, yeah, because that's one of the reasons why. Well, what I mentioned the beginning hangout, I said about the Apple spending $2 million on European data centers for iMessage and iTunes and whatnot. So that will probably help with the actually demand of, let's say, new products they bring out in the future. So, but I don't think it'll help it already because it's supposed to help, but I don't think it will because the amount of people that sign to, let's say, iTunes on, let's say, a new Apple release day, it's like so crazy. And if they can't do it with the hardware they've got now, they're not going to be able to do it with even more hardware. I don't think so. I think if Apple wanted to do it smoothly, like a full launch all smoothly without having to have any issues, I think they have to have like most of the world as data centers, to be fair. So
I think what they have to do is just like have for different obviously regions have different days that it's launched. I'm not sure that they do that now.
Or they could have because at the moment everything
And
comes
say,
to the American headquarters.
this product comes out. Instead,
Yeah.
say for America, they will have the 21st November, UK as the 23rd or whatever, just so.
Or you could have regional logins. So you have like a specific data center in a specific country or a specific area of the world, and you tell everyone that gets that iPhone that day they have to log into this particular area or this particular data center, so that basically the load is spread around about 20 different data centers all across the world. So say you live in America, you go to the American data center only, and not, let's say, a European one. So if the American one does become full, then the system can say like, okay, there's one in New Zealand or something like that, which might have a higher latency, but who gives a shit about that? At least they can actually download the latest update or sign in there, or register for their latest iPhone, you know. So at least they actually still get the data across. I think that's the way to do it. To do it regionally instead of having like one big, or let's say the entire world is one big globe, and just telling everyone to log into anything that's available. Just have specific areas, and then if those areas get full, then allocate different countries, let's say, new resources. So.
What's the time then?
The time is 21:42.
Bloody hell, I need to eat.
I'm going to eat then. By the way, we have a viewer. I don't know who they are.
Who?
No, it doesn't say who they are yet. So they're obviously viewing on a mobile platform. They may disappear at some point, but to see.
But yeah, I don't know. It's all Apple Pay stuff. The entire world of Apple is a huge, big like secrecy, really, because no one really knows what's happening. So we just hope it's all working.
Okay. Still says one viewer, but I can't seem to find out where, unless they're sitting on YouTube somewhere. But
I think it's one of my mates called Kobe. I think I gave him the link earlier, so.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Could be him.
All right. Interesting.
What are you trying to find?
And what it is, I'm looking at us live, and when you load it up live on YouTube, there's a thing that says click here to be part of the conversation live on air, which is quite useful, and something else that I didn't expect, but it says one watching now, so you might want to ask your mate if it's him that's watching, so you know we don't feel so paranoid wondering who the heck is watching us. Well, I'd like to know who's watching and how many people we're reaching out to.
Yeah, he's watching. He just messaged me and said yes, he's watching. So.
Ah, cool. Tell him to join in online if he wants to. If he has a Google account.
He says yeah, I think he's got a webcam though.
You can join in with just audio if he wants to. You know. Give him a buzz, see what he says.
Yeah, I'll add him to the thing.
Oh.
How the hell do I add people on this? I can't add someone. I'm pressing the add button. It doesn't let me do anything.
You should be able to. On the top, it says invite people.
Yeah, it's invite people, but I can't click it. I'm clicking it, nothing's happening. That's strange.
You should be able to give him the link. You know, the link that I gave you.
Oh, the link you gave. Yeah. I'll grab it on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it? It's over here. Shame that Dan isn't here. I don't know where the other guys are.
They're on Facebook, but they're not coming online. I don't know what gives.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well, we don't have to do we just do it every 2 weeks, and we just sort of see how it goes, you know.
Yeah.
We may want to call it a day in about 5 minutes because it's starting to get late and everyone has work to do. And
Yeah.
unless our friend can bring some interesting conversation to the table.
I'm telling him to join, so hopefully he joins. But are you lecturing tomorrow?
Let's see, what day is tomorrow? Yes, I am in the evening. If you wish to come by room 158.
Cool. What are you doing?
Infrastructure management UG3.
Ah, sweet.
It's coming to the end, so there's not a lot left to do. It's more sense of working on assignments. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. What sort of stuff do you looking at then? Do you look at like data center stuff or what?
it's all Microsoft servers and presenting and
Yeah.
understanding ones and trying to pitch it to directors, that sort of thing, because that's what you're expected to do.
Ah, cool.
Okie dokie. Is our friend joining us, or is he not joining us, or?
I don't know. Okay, he's typing something now apparently in Hangouts. So he says he has no idea what he's doing.
Oh.
Should I tell him to leave it and we'll get him in next week or whenever we do next one?
Yeah, add him into the chat we have on Facebook, and we'll add him in. Yeah. Shall we call it a day?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Because otherwise, if we're going for hours and hours, we just end up getting bored and just start making faces and pulling. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll add him to our chat here.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Well, like I say, bye to everyone, and we'll see. Ooh, let's see what we're on now, the 23rd. Probably on the 9th, or we may do one next week. We'll see what happens in the news. You know, we might do a shorter one next week and then do a lengthier one the week after. Depends how many people join.
Yeah, I think we should. We need to get it out somehow. I'm not sure how we're gonna do it though. Do you come in our lectures like at all? I saw you were in our you were around some of our lectures at the end today.
Oh, today. That was because there's a guest lecture for databases, so I came in for that.
Oh, okay.
But generally, I'm probably not. So, but what it is, because these go live on YouTube. If you look at my channel and show people it and say, you know, this is what we get up to, then people probably may be more than happy to sort of join and say, oh, you know, look, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just see if we can post it on the groups as well. We've got like about 2 groups, is it? Well, for ICT and the new computing students anyway.
Yeah, we talked about it about a week ago when I put that thing about Dropbox, and the whole conversation exploded, and saying, oh yeah, we're going to jump up on YouTube and things like that. And other people said they'd join, but they didn't join. So
Yeah.
remember, it's trial and error. It's not always going to work, but this is always a test run. I mean, last week it worked. Well, last time, 2 weeks ago, it was quite well, and there's other people that joined in, but this week it's gone a bit quiet. Maybe I should have advertised beforehand and put the thing to say we're going live in so many hours.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it there and we'll see what happens next week. Yeah?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool. Alright, let's stop this broadcast.